I'm socially isolating right now, but I bet this could be useful to people even in the future when we're not stuck inside all the time. Hi everybody, I have been spending an inordinate amount of time lately scrolling the internet. Now, to be fair, for a lot of it I haven't actually been looking much at it because I've been kind of in a daze with everything that's going on. But I also have been looking for ways to entertain myself and to make use of the extreme amount of hoarded craft supplies that I already have. Planner supplies, craft supplies, art supplies, all the supplies. Of course, you could like sit down and make art or do whatever the things you would normally do with some of this stuff, but I was looking for like more interesting ways to use up some of it because that could be fun. That could make some fun live streams, some fun videos, etc. And then I thought this could be an interesting video to share, not just because a lot of us are in stay-at-home mode because of the situation right now in the world, but in general, these are some kind of fun and interesting ways to use up your craft supplies without spending any extra money, because for a lot of us, we might not have any money to spend right now, and even if we did, going out to buy things can feel really irresponsible. So let's look at what we've already got and do some wacky things. Or maybe not so wacky. This video is not me demonstrating them. This is me just sort of giving you an idea dump of some of the things I'm thinking about doing, but there will likely be videos and live streams in the near future. As for live stream scheduling, I don't know how far in advance I can do that because right now we're playing with 4 different people in this house needing to utilize the internet for things like schoolwork, actual work, meetings, Zoom calls, etc. So I'm not quite sure what my schedule will look like, but likely some of these will be live streams and some of these will just be regular videos. Wish I could be more upfront in terms of schedule than that, but that's just kind of how it is right now. If any of these sound like things you'd like to see either in a live stream or in a video, let me know in the comments below. And the first 2 things I'm going to talk about are actually not that weird, not that wacky. They're things I need to do. I don't really want to do them, but I kind of need to do them. And that is go back and organize my stickers, because no matter how organized I get some new stuff and I never reorganize them. And clean and reorganize my office craft area. It's one of those things that like you do it once and you think you're done, but you gotta keep redoing it. The big challenge will be to use the containers and the different stuff I already have to reorganize it and clean it up rather than going out and buying a whole bunch of new containers, which is usually what I do when I reorganize. So the challenge will be to use what I already have to get my office spiffy, clean, and reorganized. Whoever said that buying craft supplies is a hobby in and of itself, I think buying containers for me is a big hobby, and I'm kind of having to put it by the wayside right now, just saying. But enough of that, let's get into some more stuff. One of the things that I am planning on doing on the regular is like a 10-minute craft kind of throwdown. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is to collect up a couple of supplies, set a timer for 10 minutes, and see what I can do with those supplies. This is something any of us can do. It's a way to eliminate decision fatigue. You just pick out some stuff you already have, whether you put everything into a hat and draw a couple of things, or you just grab what's interesting looking to you. Limit what you're going to use and then limit the amount of time you have to spend. You can always spend more if you find yourself really getting into it, but by putting these arbitrary limits on what you're using and how much time you're spending will likely reinvigorate your creativity. If you need some ideas for 10-minute activities that don't require spending a lot of money or any money at all or having any sort of skill whatsoever, you can check out my Skillshare class on just this subject. I'll have it linked down below. One of my favorite things to do a couple years ago was my 100-day project, where I would just leave a blob of paint on the paper and then give myself like 6 or 7 minutes to turn it into a flower, and to limit the art supplies I was using for that. So I can 10 out of 10 recommended that 10-minute situation for more than 10 of you out in the audience. I don't even know what was just happening right there. Another idea that I have that I guarantee most of you out there could probably do yourself in some form or another is to take those things you've been hoarding, those supplies you have been too scared to use, the stuff that's still in its package, and use it. Figure out a way to use it. For me specifically, I'm thinking about a fountain pen. I've got some of those floating around that I've been too afraid to mess with. I am thinking about a glass dip pen that I bought once that I know it's in my drawer somewhere, but I've never used it. I bought it, but I've never used it. And I have inks and I have a glass dip pen. Why not experiment? And then finally my mink that I got at Go Wild a couple years ago. I have the foil. You guys have seen me trying to use the foiling quill, but foiling shit. That is also something I could be doing because I have all of that stuff. I just have not actually opened it up and used it. So getting out something that you have been sort of keeping to the side still in its packaging that you haven't messed with. I've also got a bunch of embossing stuff. Some of you have seen me use it in a hot mess plan with me. That's something I can experiment with too. Go dig through your craft supplies, through your planner stuff, and find the stuff that has been too precious for you to use or too intimidating for you to use, and just fucking go for it. Why not? The final three kind of areas I'm going to talk about are all stuff we probably do use on the regular, but we have way too much of. The first one is sticky notes. Now there's a lot of different things you can do with sticky notes and post-it notes that I found. If you just search sticky note crafts, you'll find some stuff, but the one I'm really interested in is sticky note origami. Like, no lie, I am fascinated by it. I want to make the flowers. I saw a bunch of flowers. There's like butterflies and some other things you can make by like the paper folding, but you do it with post-it notes. And I know, because you guys told me on that video of regrets of things that I bought, that you bought that giant pack of color coordinated post-it notes that was going around at the beginning of the year. I bet you have that floating around. I bet it's not even opened yet. And if you have it, why don't you go online, Google sticky note origami, and see if you can find something to try and make. I think that will definitely be a live stream. I have the feeling that will be a very frustrating live stream for me, which means you guys will think it's funny. I don't have a lot of great dexterity, like fine motor dexterity. I can still letter and do paint, but with my tendonitis being the way that it is, having lots of like pinchy kind of motions is rough for me. So I have the feeling origami is going to be a hot mess. So I think I might have to settle in. That might be my first one. If you guys think doing sticky note origami would be a fun live stream to do ASAP, let me know about that in the comments. I think a glass of wine and some sticky note origami could be an interesting situation, especially if I maybe involve Jesse with it too. He would probably say no though. I can't guarantee that at all. Secondly, and this might just be me, you guys, if you followed me along for long enough, you know I have a drawer full of Sharpies because I love Sharpies. You may not have that many Sharpies, but if you do have Sharpies, there's a couple of things I'm interested in trying with them. One is Sharpie tie-dye. The website I saw that on was DIY Projects for Teens, I think is what it's called. I'll link it down below. But you're supposed to use Sharpie to tie-dye t-shirts and things like that. And I have a bunch of colorful Sharpies, and I thought that could be fun. Another thing that you could do is use rubbing alcohol and Sharpies to do like coasters and stuff. That's like a way of alcohol ink painting, but you're doing it with Sharpies and rubbing alcohol. I have no idea how. But the results are really gorgeous. Now, for some of you, you might be like, dude, stuck inside with hella Sharpies, the fumes, man. But okay, this is where I'm super real with you. Ever since I was a sign artist at Trader Joe's, I swear it's like I can't even smell Sharpies anymore, which is probably not a good thing for my brain cells, but just bear that in mind when I talk about spending lots of time with Sharpies. I've kind of broken my brain, just saying. And the final kind of area that I knew I was going to want to find something to do with is washi tape. It's no secret I own hella washi tape. I have enough washi tape to use in my planners for the next century. I found an article on BuzzFeed called something like 56 ways to decorate with washi tape, and I went scrolling through that, and some of those things aren't going to happen. I'm not going to decorate my walls with washi tape because that... It's not that I'm anti weird looking walls. For the fun of it, I might do it. But I'm just thinking about how long it would fucking take. Washi tape is small. How long would it take to do something decorative on even an accent wall with tiny ass washi tape? I'm just saying. That's a little bit too much work for me. But there are some things I did see in there. And the one I think is going to be the most irritating and fun to do on camera, and I really kind of want to do it and kind of also don't, is to use washi tape to decorate my keyboard, like for my computer. I love the way that looks, but at the same time, I feel like the texture of the tape would start to really annoy me. I don't like the feel of stuff on my fingers. That's why I don't like touching newsprint. I don't like using pastels. Like when I'm baking, I have to constantly wash my hands to get the flour off my fingers, and the feel of typing on washi tape might be a bit weird for me. But I love how it looks, so I might want to give that a try. Another thing I was another couple that I pulled off of there was decorating planters. Not the ones in my kitchen window. I love how that looks right now, but I've got other like jars and stuff, maybe experimenting with those. And then doing a washi tape manicure would be a fun live stream because it would be on the parts of my fingers I don't touch, right? maybe? Question mark? The article has it at a pedicure, so if you're freaked out by pictures of feet, just be forewarned. They also have like washi tape decorating bikes and stairs and all sorts of fucking things. There's a lot of interesting ways to use washi tape on there, and I am down to try some of them. Again, probably with a glass of wine. That's probably the caveat for most of these, right? So there you go. There's a bunch of ways that you could potentially be messing around with the stuff you already have to entertain yourself, to decorate, to get creative, to have a little bit of fun, and potentially to join in with me on some live streams. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is one way you're using up the shit you already have without spending any money to get you through any sort of time that you need to get creative or whatnot? I don't even know how to talk about this. We're all struggling here with the new normal, and if my new normal involves washi tape on my fingernails and tripping balls with rubbing alcohol and Sharpies, then maybe that's just what my new normal is going to be for a little while. Tell me about it in the comments below. I'm hoping to do a live stream on Thursday, potentially now with the sticky note origami, but I don't know for sure yet, so there will be some kind of video on Thursday. I'm just saying, so make sure you subscribe, my dudes. Stay well, take care of yourselves, and until next time, peace out.